Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. It is Julie here with your TipRanks pre-market morning update, where we're bringing you everything you need to know before the market opens. So let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back, and thank you all so much for being here. We have made it to the end of another week. This morning, we'll be taking a look at exciting stock market news, notable earnings reports, and the morning's biggest gainers and losers. If you haven't downloaded the TipRanks mobile app yet, then what are you waiting for? Links will be in the description down below so you can access your favorite investment research tools on the go. Now let's get right into this morning's exciting stock market news. U.S. stock futures have bounced back into the green this morning. Currently, Dow futures are up 0.57%, S&P 500 futures up 0.73%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.77%. Chinese stocks are on the rise this morning on speculation that China may be easing some of their COVID restrictions and upon completion of the first round of U.S. audits of U.S.-listed Chinese companies. The Chinese government has yet to announce any official policy changes when it comes to COVID restrictions, however, and is denying that they'll be easing up sooner than later. In the meantime, Bloomberg reported that U.S. regulatory officials had finished on-site inspections of Chinese companies ahead of schedule and may be leaving Hong Kong as early as this weekend. Washington State has won a temporary restraining order against Albertsons and their dividend. The dividend was in connection with their planned sale to Kroger and was set to be paid on Monday. A joint suit has been filed against Albertsons to block a $4 billion special dividend announced alongside their plans to merge with Kroger. The suit accuses the two companies of violating antitrust and consumer protection laws and seeks to block the payment to shareholders on these grounds. The Kroger stock is currently rated a hold with an average upside of 8%, and the Albertsons stock is also rated a hold with an average upside of 50%. NextEra Energy announced their plans to build the first landfill renewable natural gas production facility in Alabama. They'll be working with Coffee County to upgrade an existing landfill gas collection system and build a new RNG production facility that will capture and convert 1,100 standard cubic feet per minute of landfill methane gas per year to renewable natural gas. The project will be interconnected with a pipeline owned by Southeast Gas, which will buy all the gas from the project under a long-term contract. It is expected to become operational in early 2024. The NextEra Energy stock is currently rated a strong buy with an average upside of nearly 19%. And Lowe's is planning to sell their Canadian retail business for $400 million in a bid to streamline their operations. They'll be selling their Canadian retail businesses to private equity firm Sycamore Partners. They said that the sale of their Canadian retail business is an important step towards simplifying the Lowe's business model. The business represents about 7% of Lowe's full-year 2022 sales outlook. Analysts currently rate the Lowe's stock a moderate buy with an average upside of nearly 30%. Now moving over to notable earnings reports. After hours today is quite quiet, but in the pre-market this morning, we're still waiting to hear from Fubo TV, Hershey's, and Cinemark. Already in the pre-market this morning, we heard from DraftKings. They saw big revenue growth and increased their full-year guidance. They reported Q3 revenue of $502 million, which beat expectations by nearly $65 million and was up 135% year over year. They did post a loss of $1 per share, which was narrower than the expected loss of $1.07. The company raised their fiscal year 2022 revenue guidance to a range of $2.16 to $2.19 billion. Analysts currently rate their stock a moderate buy with an average upside of 43%. Also beating analyst expectations this morning was Brookfield Renewable Partners. Their earnings per share of 38 cents was 2 cents ahead of analyst expectations, and revenue of $1.11 billion was up nearly 15% year over year and $50 million ahead of analyst expectations. They said that their balance sheet is in excellent shape. Analysts currently rate their stock a moderate buy with an average upside of 19%. Last night, we heard from Block, the company formerly known as Square. They came in ahead of earnings and revenue expectations. Their earnings per share of 42 cents beat expectations by 19 cents, and revenue of $4.52 billion was up over 17% year over year, beating expectations by $50 million. They also reported that their gross profit rose 38% to $1.57 billion. Analysts currently rate their stock a moderate buy with an average upside of 66%. We also heard from SBUX. Their stock was on the rise after they posted record yearly revenue. They posted earnings per share of 81 cents, beating the estimates of 72 cents per share, while sales jumped 3% to a record $8.4 billion, beating the expectations of $8.3 billion. Looking at fiscal 2023, they said that consolidated revenue growth will range between 10 and 12%, despite a 3 percentage point impact from foreign exchange headwinds. Analysts currently rate the SBUX stock a moderate buy with an average upside of 18%. We heard from Carvana. Their stock is falling this morning after they posted a surprise fall in sales. Their revenue declined 3% year over year to $3.39 billion, below the estimates of $3.7 billion. This resulted in a net loss of $2.67 per share, which was much wider than the anticipated net loss of $1.90. They also said the number of vehicles sold retail was down 8% from a year prior. Analysts currently rate the Carvana stock a moderate buy, with some very bullish price targets coming in this past week. And we heard from DoorDash. Their stock is on the rise this morning, despite posting a wider than expected loss after seeing strong revenue growth and providing an upbeat outlook. They reported a loss per share of 77 cents, which was 12 cents wider than expectations. But on the revenue side, they came in at $1.7 billion, which was up nearly 34% year over year and beat expectations by $70 million. Their total orders increased 27% year over year to 439 million. Analysts currently rate their stock a moderate buy with an average upside of 110%. Now let's take a look at which stocks are the morning's biggest gainers and losers. Our biggest gainers this morning are led by Chinese EV company XPeng. This comes as they complete a 964 million RMB issuance of auto-leasing carbon-neutral asset-backed securities on the Shanghai Stock Exchange. Their stock under the ticker XPEV is currently up over 17%. They're followed by Bilibili under BILI and Block under the ticker SQ, up over 12%. Our biggest losers this morning look to be Copart, but that is because the stock underwent a stock split today. Trading under the ticker CPRT, the stock is now trading at $57 per share. They're followed by Select Medical under SEM, down 26%, and Atlassian under TEAM, down 25%. So that is going to be everything for Friday's pre-market morning update, getting you up to speed with what you need to know before that opening bell. If you made it to the end of today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and make sure you say good morning in the comments down below. I always love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday.